Good evening and thank you for joining us. The City of Thunder Bay is bringing on more staff to help meet its ambitious housing target.
The approval for 2 new positions came at last night's City Council meeting. It's part of the effort to achieve 2,200 new housing starts in the next 3 years. Vasile Spouse is following the story and joins us in studio with the details. Vasilios?
Thanks, Riley. The approval comes after the city's application for $45 million through the Federal Housing Accelerator Fund. There was some debate about hiring for these positions being more appropriate during the budget process, but there was agreement the city needs to move quickly if the housing target's going to be met. City Council has agreed that there's no time to waste if Thunder Bay wants to hit its housing target.
We are potentially losing 3 months or 4 months of building time, and we have a very short season.
At Monday's meeting, Councillor Rajni Agarwal brought forward a proposal to hire on 2 temporary development services positions. It would come at an annual cost of up to $200,000 through 2026 as an effort to meet the city's target of 2,200 new housing builds over the next 3 years. It comes after the recent application for $45 million from the federal government's Housing Accelerator Fund to meet that goal, with Agarwal stressing the urgency to get those dollars.
If we don't get at least 700 units built started next year, we're not going to meet that target of the 3 years that we need the 2,200 homes.
Agarwal's memorandum received council's approval, but not before a push from at-large councillor Mark Bent, who believed it wasn't the appropriate time to approve the positions.
I would much prefer it be done through the budget process. Any expansions to personnel, I would be looking to administration to make recommendations on, not to come off the floor here.
But Bent was outnumbered when it came to a vote. There was also a presentation from the Friends of Chippewa Park calling for repairs to the far end of City Road.
The road condition has acted as a deterrent to people coming to the park or returning after experiencing the road condition.
The group says the last 2 kilometers of City Road is in deplorable condition, and they brought a petition of 1,400 names, calling for it to be repaired and repaved. City Engineering Director Kayla Dixon provided a rough estimate of $1.35 million to resurface that stretch, but admitted it's not top of mind for administration.
To be blunt, City Road and Sandy Beach Road are not our priorities. We look to maintain our arterials and collectors as these see the highest volume.
Council decided to refer the City Road improvements to administration, who will bring back options early next year. Council also approved the $326,000 overage on the River Street culvert work. Staff say the project went over budget and behind schedule because of cold weather work, unexpected sewer and water work, and contractor delays. Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.
Well, the feared layoffs at the Lactazil Palladium mine have now been confirmed. Officials from Impala Canada broke the news to their staff today that 95 people have received layoff notices. The mine, located north of Thunder Bay off Highway 527, had around 1,100 employees up until today. The decision to reduce the workforce was made so the mine will be able to continue operating after palladium prices plummeted 50% over the past year. Impala CEO Tim Hill calls it a challenging day for the company and a difficult decision to cut the workforce. In a letter to staff, Hill says they took every measure to complete the restructuring with care and respect for those affected. The layoffs include 59 unionized employees and 36 non-union staff. Impala officials say their mineral production and mine investment will adjust accordingly, but insist that LDI will remain a significant mining operation.
The driver in a tragic auto-pedestrian collision this summer pleaded guilty today to dangerous driving causing death. 39-year-old Jonathan Pay Pompey from Big Grassy First Nation was arrested 1 day after his vehicle struck a man and woman walking on Simpson Street. Emergency crews responded to the area near Northern Avenue on the afternoon of July 3rd. One of the victims, 42-year-old Aaron Johnson, was taken to hospital but died from his injuries. The female victim, Johnson's partner, survived but suffered life-altering injuries. Pay Pompey was seen sitting in the red vehicle before leaving the scene on foot. Thunder Bay Police obtained surveillance footage of Pay Pompey, and tips from the public led to his arrest. He was charged with 5 offenses, including failing to remain at the scene and driving while prohibited. But today, he pleaded guilty to just the 1 count of dangerous driving causing death. The case will return to court in February for sentencing submissions.
The City of Thunder Bay is looking for citizen feedback on road, sidewalk, and pathway maintenance and safety. 3 short surveys are now available on the city's website, specifically looking to find out how safe residents feel when using roads, paths, and bridges, with some of the focus also on the maintenance of those assets. Amy Coombs, the project manager for the city's engineering and operations management program, says the information will be put into the city's asset management plan.
The City Council will then look at the asset management plan and hopefully make informed decisions in the 2025 budget. We're really looking to see how citizens feel about the current level of service. So we provide the information on what our current condition of those services are, and we want to know if that's satisfactory or not, and how safe people feel while they're using the infrastructure. So then we also like to know what kind of safety features citizens would like to see.
The surveys will be available until the spring on the city website.
Liberal leader Bonnie Crombie has met her caucus at Queen's Park for the first time.
And while she's getting applause from her own party, she's already facing a barrage from some key Ford government ministers and the Premier himself. Siobhan Morris reports.
House will come to order.
She doesn't have a seat in the legislature, but the new Liberal leader was the focus of attacks during question period. These blows directly from the Premier.
Flying around in the private jet, going to her $5 million estate in the Hamptons, she's out of touch with the average person.
Bonnie Crombie has explained she inherited a home on Long Island, not in the Hamptons. As for the private jet rides,
I have no idea what he's talking about, and quite frankly, I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
She dismisses attacks from Doug Ford and his progressive conservatives about a life of flashy watches and cars as desperate.
I have earned every single penny. I have been not handed a political dynasty, nor have I been handed a business that has been built up for my offspring to run.
A dig back at the Premier, whose father was an MPP and ran a label company. The government House leader insists PCs are contrasting Crombie's record with theirs.
This is a mayor who has one of the worst housing records. This is a mayor whose community has actually shrunk.
Crombie had an answer ready for that challenge.
Has Paul Calandra built any housing? Thank you. Next question.
That was CTV's Siobhan Morris reporting. The Rainy River and Kenora districts have a new ambulance dispatch system. They're the first in the Northwest and among the first in the province to make the switch to the new medical priority dispatch system. When a call comes in from dispatch, it's now assigned one of 5 color-coded priority levels. There were just 2 levels under the old system. If an ambulance is out on a non-urgent yellow or green call, it can be diverted to a more urgent red or purple call, so paramedics get to where they're needed most. Rainy River EMS Chief Josh Collings says anyone waiting for an ambulance for a non-urgent issue can expect a call back from dispatch every half hour to reassess.
Yeah, so if a purple being our highest priority came in, that might be something such as a cardiac arrest. Whereas down at the other end of the spectrum, we may have something come in as a green, which may be something like a sprained ankle, deferrable, not quite as high a priority, so the calls are triaged accordingly.
Collings says the transition has gone smoothly so far after the new system went into effect on November 8th. And while they don't have enough data to show an improvement yet, anecdotally, he says the new system seems to be working as it's supposed to and allocating EMS resources appropriately.
Lakehead University invited future high school graduates to attend their preview day. Prospective students were invited to meet faculty and staff and get a tour of the school to learn more about post-secondary education. Local grade 12 students and out-of-towners were invited to the Agora and toured some of the classrooms during the open house. Program representatives gave the students a preview of what they can expect should they come to Lakehead, along with handing out some merch and knickknacks. LU's interim director for undergraduate recruitment says days like this are not only important for the students, but for their staff as well.
One of the things about Lakehead that sets us apart is the personal connection that we have with our students. And so it's so important for faculty to get to know the incoming student and to really know what their needs are, how we can support them in their academic journey, and really get to know them as a person and how they can be involved and be a part of the campus community.
Local high school students put their problem-solving skills to the test this week at a citywide bridge building competition.
Confederation College's civil engineering program hosted the final round of the competition this afternoon, where students tested how much weight their structure could hold. Jess Clement has more.
Local grade 9 and 10 students took part in a bridge building competition this week, which tested their collaboration and problem-solving skills. Students built the bridges out of balsa wood and glue and tested them with weights. They were then tasked to improve their structures for the final round, which was hosted by a Confederation Civil Engineer Program and the School College Work Initiative.
Today we have all of the winning teams from each classroom have rebuilt a bridge, and we're going to crown a citywide champion. We're trying to connect high school students with college students and then with the employers as well. So all three groups interacting together and seeing what each other do and learning from that.
Civil Engineering Program Coordinator Leslie Dell says the activity was a great way to get students more involved and interested in STEM subjects.
I think the hands-on application of the project, building the bridge, and it has really sparked creativity within the students and really challenged them in ways that maybe they haven't been previously.
I learned that nothing can go right all the time, and you need to learn from what you built. You got to move on and build better.
Superior High School Chair of Science Jason Pilot says it was a great opportunity for the students, adding that they should have more opportunities to celebrate STEM subjects and get students learning by doing.
They'll go and do research now because they're into it, whereas if we were to sit down in a classroom and say, hey, we're going to learn about bridges, not quite the same effect as when they get a chance to build and compete. And so giving these kids this opportunity, I can't say enough how important this is to inspiring kids to learn what they're capable of doing, developing those problem-solving skills, and really pushing science, math, and engineering.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Papa John's Pizza is teaming up with the Thunder Bay Shelter House to keep people warm this winter. A portion of every large pizza sold over the next few weeks will go to their Blankets for the Bay campaign. The goal is to keep people warm this winter, and there are a few ways to help out. Local Papa John's franchisee Brian McGully says they're accepting both monetary donations and brand new blankets. Or people can just buy a large pizza, as a portion of every pie goes to providing blankets for the shelter house. McGully is hoping to collect as much as possible and wants to challenge the community to get involved.
Once again, I challenge all businesses in Thunder Bay to come on down and support the cause, and it's a good cause, and we think it's really important.
McGully adds that anyone who brings in a new blanket will get a coupon for a free medium pizza. The campaign has already started and will run until Christmas Eve.
What a great campaign that is. And speaking of keeping people warm, Mitch, we're above seasonal once again today.
We are above seasonal, but it did feel a little bit more like the holidays as the snow did make its way to Thunder Bay. But without the wind at all, really low winds from the northwest, it was beautiful outside today. A little bit of snow made everything feel closer to Christmas as well. Temperatures sitting near that 0 mark did make its way up to 1 for the high. We did see clouds throughout the day, but on and off snow as well, with chances of that snow making a return. Now, what brought the snow is this system making its way farther south in the region. As you can see, pushing farther east, but this was most of the snow in the region at all. But if we went farther west, which we will go in just a little bit, there is a bigger system that could bring quite a bit of snow into Ontario over the next couple days. Now, as we head to the region currently, just some clouds. It's going to be fairly clear overnight in Fort Frances, only down to -3, and it's going to stay fairly cool in Atikokan and Upslat, -4 and -5. There is some cloud coverage making its way in farther in Red Lake, down to -4 as well. Similar temperatures really seen through the west side of the region, while as we head farther northeast, A little bit cooler in Greenstone, Armstrong, only at -3 with clouds in the area. With chances of a little bit of snow tonight, they could see around 30% chance of flurries. Temperatures down to -9 in Greenstone tonight, where in Sault Ste. Marie, they also could see a little bit of flurries as that system pushes farther east. Currently sitting at -3 with plenty of clouds in the area. Now, tonight in Thunder Bay, the temperature is going to drop down to -6, but the wind chill is going to pick up as the wind makes its way up from the northwest up to 15 kilometers an hour. So it could feel like -14, and we are going to see plenty of clouds rolling into Thunder Bay. So a little bit of moonlight tonight, but those clouds definitely rolling in. But there is some snow on the way and a little bit of colder conditions, and I'll have those details in just a little bit.
Well, thank you so much, Mitch. Well, Israel's military intensifies its ground offensive against Hamas. And we'll have all those details for you as your Tuesday News Hour continues.
Over the last 72 hours, the amount of airstrikes on Khan Yunis is unprecedented.